All right, what's up, you guys? Give me 1 second. Let's let this thing start so I can mute it. I'm very tired. What is up, you sinners and saints? Thanks for showing up. I've had a pretty rough couple days. I'm really tired. I can't wake up today. Um, Looking at the chat, so let's see who's here. Tom, what's up? Mar 15, Christina Watt, Casey Atheist, Ghost Without a Past. Lisa for Truth up in the house. Carlton's up in the house. I did, and let's do. I made some moderators. If you don't want to be a moderator and you notice yourself a moderator, then I'll remove you. But I felt like after the conversation I had last weekend, and with people like Matt and Guzman coming in my chats and throwing homosexual slurs in my chat rooms, that I really needed some moderators to take care of that. What's up, Chubbs? So yeah, we're going to be talking death threats. Anybody that would like to come in and speak, I'll shoot you a link. First, I want to say what I need to say. This isn't the first time I've received death threats. This is the first time that I've received death threats from Christians, or I've come to believe it's just one person. I'm going to tell you guys what transpired, what's been transpiring since about last Friday. I didn't take it seriously at first, because like I said, this isn't the first time that it's happened to me. When I did my first videos on ISUPK, I received over 100. I think I'm at 117 death threats from ISUPK right now. And I want to talk about the psychological effects that death threats have on a person. But first, I want to tell you guys what happened. Like I said, if you would like to come in, I've only got till 9 o'clock. Then I have to get ready for work, but I'd be more than happy to have other inputs on this. So Friday, I got an email from somebody I've never heard of before, and it threatened to kill me. Said that I was an atrocious person, retrobate, this and that. And when these people start calling you reprobate, now Guzman and Matt might not think that a reprobate like me should be put to death, but it doesn't matter what they think, because I know Guzman specifically said in the chat after he left that he had thought about it, and it's not about physical death but soul death. But that doesn't matter, because people are going to hear you say things, and there are a lot of fucked up people in this world. So even if you don't think that, when you are calling me a reprobate to these fucking insane people, you're telling them that God has given up on me and hates me. And to an insane person, that's enough justification to do horrible, horrible shit. But I didn't take it seriously. I only got one that day. Saturday night, we had that really long conversation. I had gotten a 6-pack of beer, expecting that I'm just going to have an hour-long, 2-hour conversation if Darth Dawkins shows up. I wasn't, and then Darth Dawkins didn't show up. Brett Keane showed up. And thanks to Brett Keane, we had a really great live conversation where all these people came in. But, I wasn't planning on drinking beer for 7.5 hours live on YouTube. And I got fucking wasted drunk. And I'm just now to the part of that conversation where I'm fucking wasted drunk, after G-Man left, and, I am fucking hammered, right? So, and I was in my emails throughout that whole conversation and didn't notice that I got 2 more emails from different people I never heard of before, threatening my life. Reprobate, needs to die. Sunday, I go on Modern Day Debate, and I have a really good conversation with Sky Out. I go out of my way not to become the Raging Atheist. It's James' channel. James is a Christian. I like James. I want to respect his wishes. So try not to rage. And then I take a nap after. Well, at the end of that Modern Day Debate, I challenged Ben the Baptist You know, I made a couple videos on him now. He says bad shit. I challenged him to come and speak to me on Modern Day Debate. So I take a nap. I go to work Sunday night. And when I get home Monday morning, I get really, really weird emails. But these are from people I've heard before. These are from an email from Steven Anderson. So, you know, and I really don't, I need to reach out to these people. I've been busy, you know, I'm tired. Been sleeping all day, slept all day yesterday. Yesterday as this shit was transpiring. So I didn't get any of the work done yesterday that I wanted to get done. But one of the emails was Steven Anderson threatening litigation on me. Email from Pastor Shelley calling me a reprobate. Pastor Jimenez calling me a reprobate. Ben the Baptist calling me a reprobate. He'd never fucking talk to me and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I need to reach out because I don't think that these are real email accounts. I think that it's all one person. Because, well, you know, and then so I get all these weird emails from, and at first I'm like, what the fuck? The major players of the NIFB are attacking me right now. Steven Anderson is fucking attacking me right now. That's what I'm thinking, right? And I get on Twitter and I post my new Matt Powell video and I'm like, call to arms or whatever the fuck I said. I was really tired. It was after work, you know, and I was getting bombarded by all these fucking emails. And I, at that point, was taking those emails very seriously and legitimate, you know. So then I wake up and I get my 6th death threat, the most serious one. Make sure she's not here. She's in the bathroom. I'm blurry. But this was the second one that involved my daughter. And this one, it said a lot of stuff that scared the fuck out of me. Shouldn't have been known. I didn't think. And after I called the police, you know, they told me that it was stated in a way that was very general. It's not specific, but it really hit home to me. And it scared the shit out of me. And it said that the only way my daughter could be saved is if she, you know, if she were to go to hell now before I could influence her anymore. Or go to heaven now, you know, not hell. I would be the one going to hell. So I called the police. I reached out to Matt. Said, you know, if this is you doing this shit, please fucking stop. Matt calls me back immediately. Swears that it's not him or his people. Excuse me, I'm a little emotional. And, you know, I really appreciated that Matt did that. I believe Matt. There was conviction in his voice and sincerity and just how fast he called me back. Like, he took it very seriously. And I appreciate Matt for that. Like I said, I don't believe that the emails I got was actually from Steven Anderson and Ben the Baptist and all those guys. I think that maybe this is all just one person creating a bunch of fake ass email accounts and just really fucking with my psychology right now. I think that it's still possible that it could be serious, but I'm trying to push it away and not think about it. And I do want to talk about the psychological effects that this has. You know, when ISUPK started first threatening my life, those are the threats you just can't take seriously. You know, ISUPK, they're hateful, racist people, usually live in really big cities far away from where I live. You know, and even though there are Black Israelites everywhere, they're not all ISUPK. But the scary thing about it is that ISUPK was ISUPK, and you just never know. So even though you dismiss it, it still gets in your head, and you have to start looking over your fucking shoulder, man. You know, it's and then it got to a point, and I'm not a racist person, but I would get really nervous when any black person would come around me, not because they were black, but because they could be ISUPK. They could be one of those people that threaten and could be serious and pull a gun and just start shooting me. And I didn't let that shit stop me from making ISUPK videos. And I'm not going to let this shit stop me or hold me back from doing what I'm doing. But I do have to fucking look at myself. I have to look at my rhetoric and when I'm emotional and how I'm speaking to people. And I'm still thinking about I'm still trying to even fucking process this shit, you know, like I would never fucking do that to nobody. I just don't understand how people can do that shit. I'm fucking shaking and I can barely speak because I'm trying not to fucking cry. You know, my daughter is the sweetest thing in the fucking world. And if, you know, me being the raging atheist is going to cause her to be unsafe, then I got to think about that. All right, so I'm gonna my chat hasn't been moving. I didn't realize that. So let's see what you guys are saying. Like I said, anybody want to come in? I'll shoot you a link. Oh, Digital Hammurabi's in the house. Thank you so much, Digital Hammurabi. You know, it is sickening. I feel sick to my stomach right now. You know, I just had to tell my daughter's mom about this shit. It's terrifying, man. It's terrifying. But I don't think it was Matt Powell. I really don't. I just don't. I really believe that he was very, very concerned in the conversation. Holy shit, I missed a whole lot. So we're going to go through it. Carlton Sear, what's up, Carlton? KC Atheist, are you asking for death threats? No, I'm not asking for them. Yes, I made a lot of mods. If you weren't here when I was talking about that, I don't want homosexual slurs especially used in my chat. And if anybody is using those in my chat, I want my mods to stop it. You know, Matt Powell and Guzman likes to come in my chats and drop, you know, cut homosexual in half and drop the F word. And y'all know I'm not talking about fuck. Remember, Guzman also said that certain reprobates deserve death. He said there were levels of being reprobates. Yes. And that's what this scary thing about this shit. You start going around and saying that God has turned you over to a reprobate mind, which basically means that God fucking hates this person. What do you think crazy people are going to do with that information? I mean, fuck. Wujita's in the house. Kenhoven CPA. All my favorite people's up in here. Mariska Cat. Like I said, we're graced with I would assume it's probably Dr. Josh, maybe Dr. Josh and his wife from Digital Hammurabi. I'm so grateful that they're here. This is not something I wanted to talk about. You know, I wanted to spend my Tuesday night finishing the edit on my Rachel Stevens video. I wanted to ride the high that I was feeling from the great live stream that we had Saturday night and a good discussion. My opportunity to be another loss for Sky Out, who is the greatest debater of all time. Of course, I'm being sarcastic. But so yeah, anybody, I try to go through it. If anybody wants a link, Jay Pacific, Pasic asked for a link. Yes, you can come in here. Or email me at @ragingatheist. Here, I'll put it in the chat for you. So if anybody does, if I already have your email and you want a link, I'll shoot you a link. We can talk to about 9 o'clock. And then I'll put my email in the the chat for anybody that would like to come in. Just shoot me an email, and I will send you the link. Thank you, Lisa, for truth. You know, I'm gonna get over this. The thing I need to do is accept responsibility for my fault in it. You know, because I can sit here and say that Matt and Guzman should be mindful of crazy people, but then that applies to me as well. And you know, if I'm going and making a Matt Powell video based on emotion, saying that he needs to be in jail, well, then he has every freaking right to be upset about that. And you know, if I'm telling a crazy person, this person belongs in jail and there's no justice for this child, what do I think's gonna? I mean, the same thing could have happened to Matt based on my rhetoric, you know. And I don't want that shit. I don't want that blood on my hands, you know. So I need to look at myself. I mean, email. All right, so, all right, yeah, send me an email. Oh, Athena Goddess, you're here. What's up? I'll shoot you a link, Athena. Here, let me get back to it and actually copy the link. A little emotional and still really tired. You know, third shift sucks, but I love my job. I absolutely love my job. Thankfully, I had a very easy night last night, or I might have had to have left because it was very hard to work last night. All right, Athena, link is sent. You know, and just the psychological factors of having to look over your shoulder for somebody you don't know. It could be literally anybody in the world. Like even the ISUPK. I briefly mentioned about how there was a period for about 3 months after the threats started happening to where me as a racist person would or me as a not racist person, excuse me, would, hey, what's up, Athena? There was this period where I was working in the restaurant at the time.
Talking, sorry.
Sorry, what's up, man? Yeah, I'll just finish this point real quick and then we'll introduce you. But I was working in the restaurant at this time, so you have all these people coming in, and every time a black person would come in, I had that thought, like, is he ISUPK? Is she ISUPK? Which usually it would probably be a he that you would have to worry about. And eventually I got over that shit, but man, it just fucks with your head, you know, like. But let's say what's up to Athena.
Hello.
What's up, man? What's up, man? I'm glad to have you back, you know.
Yeah, nothing much. You know, I figured I'd come in, see, and you know, see what's up. I was watching a bit, and then you were talking. You were saying some really bizarre, worrying things. I was like, "The fuck? Let me go on here and give my 2 cents."
Yeah.
Like, okay, look. You know, I've been online for a while, right? I've seen some people, you know, I've seen some YouTubers, they, get fucked with, they got death threat, they got whatever, and they did the responsible thing that, dude, you know what? This shit isn't worth the shit I'm getting. I need to think about my family. I need to think about my family first. Now, you could do what you want, but I'm just saying that, like it's up to you. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that like this YouTube, this shit isn't worth it. Like, you know what I mean? If you're getting paid from this, okay. But other than that, if you're just doing this as a hobby,
Yeah, I can't lie. Like it has been one of my thoughts. It is a definite thought right now. And you know, I'm a stubborn bastard, and I don't like to quit anything, and I can't ever see myself quitting YouTube. And I just found
no, it's
I
not
just found my
quitting.
voice.
Taking a
You know,
break.
yeah,
There's a difference between quitting and taking a break.
yeah, and I don't know. I'm just the way that I look at it right now, and you know, I'm still going back and forth in my head on it. Is that if I do that, then whoever this fucker is wins. You know, like
Yeah, that's true. But just like I get what you mean. Okay, but sometimes sometimes you have to give them that win so you can live peacefully. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? If they want to have the win, fine.
All right,
You win.
let me see if I got some more emails. Vujita, I'm gonna shoot you a link. Carlton, do you want to come in? Go ahead, Athena.
Oh, I was just saying if so, if some people see here's the thing, because I get what you mean, but but at the same time I thought to myself, okay, if this person is that pathetic that 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 they need this win, that they need this win in order to feel validated, fine, give them that win. You're a bigger person than they are.
Yeah, I would like to think so, but I'm not.
Uh,
I am a stubborn bastard.
yeah, I
Uh,
know, but
the
again,
the thing that the thing that's given the argument legitimacy right now is the threat on my daughter. Um,
and that's what I'm
yeah,
saying. That's what you gotta. I
n-
mean, in a way, you do you. I'm just giving
yeah.
you.
Oh, yeah. I appreciate. Yeah, this is definitely good input, and it is something that I have been thinking about. I wasn't gonna talk about that just because I don't want to freak out my subs, and I really don't think I'm gonna go in that direction, just because I spent the last year and a half now on this channel. I spent 2 years before this channel talking about politics to nobody that watched, and I couldn't, I couldn't figure out YouTube, and then I made the Raging Atheist, and I'm just now getting people to watch. I'm going on Modern Day Debate. I got Digital Hammurabi up in the chat right now. Like, this is awesome.
Well,
And
yeah.
like,
Digital Hammurabi seems to be a superstar these days.
he's brilliant. They both are. I enjoy both of them. But it's not even that though. It's just that, like, I'm just getting started. And I don't see any way that I could quit. But I do need to take responsibility and
Yeah.
maybe tone down my rhetoric. Yeah, that's cool, Carlton. Anytime you want to come up, you're more than welcome. We got Lady Tasha here. Everybody loves Lady Tasha. What's up?
I'm
My
literally never
homegirl.
met this person.
This is my homegirl. She's one of my she's been a long time commenter, and she came on and we had a conversation, and everybody loved the conversation I had with Lady Tasha. What's up, Lady Tasha? I think you're muted, Lady Tasha.
Well, no, it doesn't show her muted. You might have trouble with her sound. She
Yeah,
may.
you might have mic troubles. You might want to get out and then come back in.
Yeah,
You
refresh.
get out, check your mic settings, and then come back in.
Yeah. But yeah, there's actually something I want to talk to you about off air if I'm still here.
Okay. I should have a little bit of time. I do have to get ready for work and get to work tonight.
No, it's fine. That's fine. I just wanted to talk to you about about our dear friend Standing for Truth and some. We'll talk about it afterwards.
Yeah, I did start watching part of his debate on Modern Day Debate, about 10 minutes, just enough to know
It's
that
the same stuff. You didn't miss much.
It seems like he got dumber since we talked. Like seriously.
Okay. I mean, I can't comment on that because I do. I don't know. He seems like a nice guy, but this whole shtick that he has, oh, evolution is wrong. I'm like, you know what, dude? Believe what you want, because at the end of the day, reality doesn't give a shit what you think.
Yeah, that whole crew, like, which he's nowhere near as bad as the Red Pill guys. So
do not get me started on Max Colby.
Yeah,
Do not get me started.
From what I've
Holy
seen,
shit.
from what I've seen, it seems like he's getting his. That whole crew is, and I told Apology Supreme when I really didn't know who he was. I just knew that he was one of the ones really attacking Dr. Josh and Shannon Q. I was like, yeah, I'll talk to you if nobody else will. You can come in and have a chance to like apologize. And he wouldn't even take that. Like, if you're so sorry and you want to make amends and make things right, then come on and at least show how sorry you are. But he wouldn't do that. He wanted to do it in some other setting or whatever, and he wanted to just talk shit, you know.
Yeah. He's just so dumb. There was a debate he had with this one YouTuber, Mr. Medicare, in 2016 that I still love watching because he just gets. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh god, dude, that was the funniest shit ever.
All right, I'm gonna send you a link, Lisa. Immutable Destiny. I'm leaving in 1 hour. I've got to be off here at 9 o'clock. Let's talk this weekend. Weekends are usually better for me because I'm not so tired.
Yeah.
I'm still getting used to third shift. So Immutable, I do want to talk to you. I felt like you were one of the people that didn't get much chance to speak in that live stream this weekend.
Yeah, that's why. Honestly, that's why I left. There was too many people. I'm like, yeah, I can't get a word in edgewise. So I'm like, let me go.
It got hard. Like everybody's like, mute them, and I'm like, I hate muting people. I want people to have their voice, but I'm gonna have to start doing that.
Well, when it comes to G-Man, you have to be hard on him because he will not shut the hell up.
Yeah, well, he wasn't as bad as Darth Dawkins. Like,
yeah, obviously, Darth Dawkins. He's another guy who's just.
Yeah, I mean that was just a dumpster fire. I'm gonna send Lisa for Truth a link. Who else did I say I was gonna send a link? Man, I'm so tired.
Lady Chuck. Yeah, sorry, Lady Tasha. Mic check. Did you happen to go to the gear on top settings and check your mic, or can you even hear us? I'm trying to figure out why she's not talking.
I think. Can you speak, Lady Tasha? Maybe not.
That's a no.
Yeah, she had it working the last time. YouTube is a fucker.
Well, yeah, YouTube's the fucker.
Lisa for Truth, let me send you that link. Man, I am just so dragging right now. All right. Here, let me see. There you are. All right.
Jay Pasick wanted a link too. I don't know if you sent it already.
Let me see. Man.
I can actually just add him to the call if you'd like.
Yeah, you can go for it, and I'm gonna shoot Wajida a link. I did send a link in our old email, Wajida, but maybe it was. I don't know. Maybe you didn't get that one.
Jay added you. There you go. I added Jay to the call.
All right, so yeah, let's. We have an hour. We can talk about anything. If you guys want to talk about my dad, there's not much to talk about. I don't know. It's like I said. I just think it's one person fucking with my head. So whatever you guys want to talk about. I just really, I did put it on Twitter, and I kind of regretted that because I felt like I should have kept it as personal information. Yeah,
like Sky Else. He's like a person who's just so goddamn damaged that he thinks, it'd be so funny to give the aging atheist death threats under all these names.
Yeah, I don't think so because Sky Out just like he is like, all right, I'm the best of all time, and no matter what happens.
Dad,
go ahead.
I'm on a video call. Sorry.
Oh no, you're all right.
I'm so sorry, Knock.
Thank you so much, Lisa. It's I'm getting over it. I'm trying to get to my normal self. I'm pretty sure that probably by tomorrow I'm going to be really pissed off about all of it, and it might make a great video. So
I mean, again, like I said, I know that you're stubborn, but sometimes you just gotta, if not for your sake, at least for your family's sake. I don't know, just my 2 cents.
Yeah, like I said, I'm still thinking about it, but knowing me, I can pretty much, I'm a pretty predictable character. I can see probably my worst ever video coming. Like it's gonna be, Matt says he said he's gonna be darker than ever. I don't know, I'm about to get dark probably, but we'll see. Maybe I'll take the high road.
Well, Knock, I'm not meaning to make light of your situation, but X got I think he got a death threat.
Now, is he? He's the guy from Utah podcast.
Utah Outcast.
Outcast. Yeah. I
Yeah, he
just
got a death threat that involved his kids, and he was really pissed off about it. He goes, "You don't go near my fucking kids."
Yeah, I just saw his Matt Powell video today. Somebody linked it on Twitter, or it was actually Atheist Rationale linked that to me on Twitter, and I watched it, and it really started to make me think again that okay, maybe Matt could be involved. You know, I do believe his sincerity, but it does sound like me and X, that's his name, right?
Well,
X,
that's the name he uses. Yeah,
it does sound like maybe we're going through a very similar thing right now.
yeah. I think these NIFB guys are just fucking with you, but be on the safe side. You know, don't just think, oh, they're just fucking with me, because they might be very serious.
Yeah, and I have made some I would say that I'm probably the one attacking them the most. Wujita, I sent you a link if you want to come in. Chubbs, I would be glad to have you on this weekend. Just let me know, shoot me an email, and yeah, we'll have a talk, dude.
You know, I just thought of something. You know, after this stream is done, maybe better to privatize it. You know, make it private, because it's like you're kind of a what's the word I'm looking for? Making it public. I mean, obviously you should let your subscribers know what's going on, but
Yeah,
I just forget anything.
Yeah, that's a decent point. Yeah, I'll think about that. Hopefully, I remember. But you know, I don't want to run away from it. Like I did. This is something that I talked. This was an issue that was brought up yesterday, and legally, I think I'm fine. Like it wasn't even taken seriously. And it actually went a long way to reaffirm me that I shouldn't take it as seriously as I was taking it yesterday. But yeah, and I don't want to put it out there because I don't think it's Matt. Like I just don't think it's Matt. I think Matt's losing the battle, and I am putting a lot of videos out on these guys, but I just don't think that Matt is that type of guy.
Yeah, know? but here's my here's my question. How many Lisa, would you mind like muting? Because I think just feedback.
Yeah, I am getting some reverb in my headphones.
Thank you. But right. No, as I was trying to say, how many people actually make videos on Matt Powell and all these other guys? And I mean, as far as I know, they never gotten death threats. And if they do get threats from them, they're not vocalized. They're not taken serious enough.
Yeah, and that's like Matt called me back immediately. Like I put it in the comment section of my new video because I know that he watches all of my videos on them. Like, Matt, if you're doing this, please stop. And then I was like, well, that's not a good way to reach out to him. So I emailed him, and within 2 minutes of me emailing him, Matt Powell called me right back and was like, dude, this is not me. This is not my people. We don't do this. You know, I mean, he was really, really adamant about it. Yeah, Lady Tasha, I think it's just some crazy NIFB person creating a bunch of damn fucking accounts. Like, I'm gonna get this guy, you know. But I do put out where I live, you know, not with my mouth, but with a hat that I wear at some point. And I speak of Michigan. All you got to do is put 2 and 2 together. Battle Creek, that's where he is. You know, it is scary. And you think back on it now, like I thought about all this stuff yesterday. You know, all the things that I've done that just gave away my location, that just gave away who I am. You know, like I did that. Matt didn't do that. I did that. And you don't even think about it as you're doing it. You know, like, man, it's a scary thing. Well,
I wouldn't put it past Steve. I definitely wouldn't put it past Steve because he's admitted to doing illegal things.
Yeah. Well, the thing that with those emails is that at first I was like, what the fuck? You know, Steven Anderson is emailing me. And that's what really just got, like, I think that it's all one person. Like, even all those emails from the NIFB leaders, like, I don't think that they were their real accounts. That's I need to reach out to them, maybe like comment on a Steven Anderson video. Like, dude, did you email me? You know, like, because I want to know if it's real or not. I don't think it is. And I think it's all just somebody messing with me, and they did a pretty damn good job of it. You know, like it got to me.
Well, it would get to anyone, Knock.
Say what?
It's the I said it would get to anybody.
Yeah, I think so
the
too.
Feedback better?
Yeah, it's a lot better.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it would get to anybody. But you know, and Athena, the whole point, and this is where I'm falling right now, is I wasn't gonna do a live show today. I wasn't gonna talk about it at first, but then I'd already talked about it on Twitter, and then so Cyrus is reaching out to me, hey, are you okay? Ocean is reaching out to me, hey, are you okay? And I just felt like, all right, this is the best way to tell everybody, because I already let the cat out of the bag. I was like zombified when I started talking about this stuff yesterday. So the cat was already out of the bag. Might as well just address it. And then where I'm falling right now is I can't let this guy beat me. I can't. But I do need to take responsibility for my rhetoric. If I'm going to make a video ranting and raving at Matt Powell and how he should go to jail for child abuse of Guzman, then that's no different than them calling me a reprobate. And the gist of it is, from what I got from these emails, is that line of talk is what led to this. They calling me a reprobate and me addressing it on the live stream to Guzman, like, do you think I'm a reprobate? And him saying yes. That stuff leads to this, that hatred, man. It's
well, like, okay. Look, you know what? While we're on the subject, I was gonna wait until we were off air, but okay. Look, the one person that got to me, they got to me with his hatred of atheists was Jeremy. I don't know. He often hangs out with Standing for Truth and Guzman. Guzman, you know what I mean? He's been in the chat. He's been in a few chats or whatever. And just his level of hatred towards atheists and saying, oh, atheists should just kill themselves because I forget. I'm like, dude, you know what? I actually had a talk with Standing, and I'm like, you do realize that, that when you have Jeremy saying this stuff, it doesn't look good on you, right? And then he talked to Jeremy, and he's like, oh, and Jeremy, from what I heard, Jeremy was more relaxed because, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like after I had the discussion, it would be like, dude, tell your boy to kind of relax, okay? Because what he says is not really looking. It's not making me want to join your side.
Yeah, and I agree. I think we all need to try to be mindful of our tone. Like I see Standing for Truth is in the chat. People have accused me of attacking Standing for Truth, and I haven't went back and watched our conversation, but I need to, because it doesn't matter what I think I'm doing. I've got to be mindful of how other people are going to take it. Like I've got to
invite him on here.
Standing, if you want to come in. I'm just, it's not going to be a debate, dog. I do got to leave it very soon.
Yeah. I'll let me just add him. Standing for Truth.
Yeah, he's more than welcome anytime.
Yeah, Standing for Truth. I added you to the call to the hangout thing if you wanna come in,
Hey, you don't have to. Oh, Wujita, you're almost home. Man, anytime, when you get home, Wujita, hop in. I'm not gonna have too long tonight. We got about 50 more minutes though. So
I genuinely love his afro.
Me too. I've been watching back that live stream when I can, and one of the things that I got really drunk, but Wujita really stood out to me. I mean, he was in that room with Brett Keane, with Ocean and Cyrus and G-Man, and he stood his own, and I am proud of that young man. I really am. He was probably the calmest one of all of us, and Carlton too. I mean, Carlton was pretty calm, and Derek was an immovable. You know, he didn't get to speak much. Glad Derek's here. And Derek, I'd like to have you on and actually get to know you as well. And it's this weekend I'm going to try to stream something. We'll see what we can throw together. I'd love to have G-Man on again. That'd be awesome.
I'd just like to say this for any Christians who are watching right now and any Christians who might watch in the future. This is not cool. It is not Christian to make death threats to anybody. And if you think you're a Christian and you are making death threats, you are not a fucking Christian.
Well, and to add to that point, I feel like calling non-believers reprobates and whatever the fuck doesn't help either.
Yeah, like, I mean, calling homosexual people reprobates, like you're literally saying God hates these people. You know, like God has no
when
more
He created them.
Yeah, like, oh my gosh. You know, like if you think that God is that atrocious and then can't understand why I won't follow him, that's your problem, not mine. G-Man blocked me? Oh crap. Wow. I'm
and nothing of value was lost.
Yeah, I'm part of a significant, a very significant club now, I feel. I've never even commented on the guy's videos at all, man. Like I think I watched Scholar Fiction's Meltdown of G-Man video. That's like pretty much the only thing I'd ever seen. I just have heard of the guy. I know his reputation. NIFB Jesus is in the house. Another constant commenter. I love his comments. Yeah, this whole thing, Lisa for Truth. You're exactly right. But let's not forget that, you know, and this is what I'm trying to not forget is I can't put it all on Christians. It's not Christianity that's doing this. It's whoever this is has some mental things. And I just hope that the mentality isn't so screwed up that they will come up here and try to find me. And if they do, I just really hope that it's me, you know.
Yeah, I do understand that, Knock. Well, but I still stand by it. No.
Oh yeah, I do too. Like, you know, you are not a Christian if you are doing this. Whoever you are,
you're not. And I don't have a problem with the moderate Christians. I don't have a problem with the liberal Christians. It's the people who are doing this kind of shit that I have a problem with.
Yeah. You know, and that's what I try to make it clear. Like, you know, when I'm going at Matt, I don't hate Matt. I just hate the shit he says. You know, like, love people, dude. You know, love people. Don't fucking hate people. If you got to know them, you will find reasons to hate them if you want to hate them, but at least try to get to know them first.
Yeah, right.
Oh, Dr. Josh? Oh, yeah. Heck yeah. What's your email, Dr. Josh? Or I can message you on Twitter, Dr. Josh. So you don't put your email out. Let me get on Twitter. So go ahead, guys. We're going to have man, I'm going to be blessed with Dr. Josh up in here. This is awesome. This is awesome. All right, let's get him in here. All right, I just shot you the link, Dr. Josh, on your Twitter. Man, I had never thought I had hoped one day to be able to speak to Dr. Josh. I never thought it'd be this soon. Wow, man. See, this Athena, this is why this could be why they're doing it. And the whole point would be to get me to stop, because I'm meeting the community now and I'm meeting all these different people and gaining some legitimacy, I would say. And he emailed me. All right. I am just so scatterbrained today. I can't even begin to convey that accurately, just how in the clouds I am at this moment. But like, you know, I have made so much progress in the last 2 months on my channel, you know, that I can't ignore that. Could be a reason for this. This could just be an attempt to make me stop YouTube. You know, I mean, you look at all the times Matt Powell went on Ben the Baptist saying, my YouTube career is over. Matt Powell made a video about the Raging Atheist YouTube career is over. They want me to stop. You know, they want me desperately to stop what I'm doing. Hey, Dr. Josh, welcome. Welcome.
Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Dr. Josh.
Hey, how are you?
Fine. How are you?
Yeah, doing well.
Doc, of course they want you to stop because you're making them look bad.
Yeah,
I don't need any help with that.
yeah. I think I'm been a little obsessive, and I need maybe that's something I should work on too. But yeah, hey, welcome, Dr. Josh. Man, I am a big fan. I love the work you are doing on Scholar Fiction and on your channel. Like I'm in catch-up mode with you because like I found a resource that can give me some kind of scholarship on some of the things that I've been saying, and so nice to meet you. What's up, man?
Oh man, it's really nice to meet you too. Actually, we and it's really kind, all the things you've said. Very honored, honestly. We took the kids roller skating on Sunday, and we listened to your debate on the way out, and I guess on the way back.
That's an honor.
No, it was really great. I think you did a great job, and it's tough. Some of those topics you got to have knowledge of a whole bunch of stuff, and I thought you held yourself up really well. So
Thank you.
I cannot believe I'm in the same room as Digital Hammurabi. Wow.
I know, man. This is awesome.
That's very sweet of you guys. I really appreciate that. Megan said that she would come in, but she's breastfeeding in the back. So actually,
Man.
that doesn't really usually stop her from getting on camera. So she's using the pump though this time, so
Okay.
it might not be the same. That's probably way too much information. Sorry.
No, that's yeah. Ronnie, my daughter's mom, she didn't held no qualms about it as either.
Well, I'm really sorry about this, man. It's funny because, some of the stuff that we do on Skylar's channel. I mean, Skylar would be the first one to say, he's all about rhetoric and, putting out sort of controversial stuff. But I mean, at the end of the day, that's just hateful. And I was really, really disturbing, frankly. And I don't want to come in here and like monopolize the room or anything, but I'm really sorry.
Thank you.
Really, really awful.
Yeah. Like I said, when it happened with ISUPK, you kind of take it, all right, those are just crazy people being crazy. But now it's like, it literally can be anybody. It could be somebody in my family that doesn't like what I'm saying. Like, you just don't know. And it's crazy. It's crazy.
Oh, it's one of the things that I just find. I mean, of course, everybody knows I was a Christian for 26 years. And it's just so funny because the love of Christ seems to come out in very strange ways. And there's just so much vitriol and hatred. And I don't know. It seems like those few instances where Jesus and the disciples decided to, or maybe even Elijah or some of the prophets decided to get a little feisty. Those are the stories that they grab hold of and say, well, Jesus overturned the table, so we can give death threats to people. I mean, it's just, it's very bizarre.
Yeah, and I've often tried to wonder, like, how people were able to use the Bible to justify the horrible things they were doing to their slaves in America, and then in the same breath, people were able to use the Bible to justify how horrible slavery was in America at the same time, and like how people can get just completely different ideas of what Jesus is, and I try to tell that to Guzman, and I want to be clear with the people, because I know that Guzman is hateful, and he'll come in chats and he'll say hateful things. But when he was on my channel, that kid held his own and he was respectful. And I really think that people like him can be redeemed. It's truly is this. They have this warped version of Jesus Christ in their head. And it allows them to justify all this horrible stuff. And it's like, God, you just wake up and you don't. It doesn't have to be that,
Yeah, well, I mean, regarding Gaz when he's 12 years old, which that alone is kind of, well, he's 12 years old, and he said he was saved a couple of years before by his mother saved him, and that really, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, so the only reason you're a Christian is because your mother, quote unquote, saved you.
Yeah, and and that's why I try to ask him, like, Guzman, me and you are sitting here right now. We're having a good conversation. I know some of the Christians in the chat thought that we were ganging up on him, but I was at least trying to be nice to him and say, hey, man. And I think he picked up on that because he's been talking back to me and wanting to speak to me again. But I was like, do you think I'm a reprobate? Because Matt Powell calls me a reprobate. Now Ben the Baptist is calling me a reprobate. Do you think I'm a reprobate? And he said yes. And it's like, do you not understand the effect that can have on people? And I was going through it at that time. Like, I was getting the threats. I just wasn't taking them seriously.
Yeah, I don't think he understands. I honestly, not just him. I don't think a lot of people understand what the implications of what it means to be a reprobate. They just throw that around like candy.
Yeah, this is my way to beat your argument, reprobate. I mean, the first time Matt Powell ever came in my chat or commenting on my videos, what led to me making videos about Matt Powell was he came in my comment section calling me a reprobate. The first time we ever talked. It's like, and then he's butthurt that I made videos about him.
Excuse me, I'm stretching. There was this one comment under one of your videos about Matt Powell that what the hell was the guy's name? He's saying, "Oh, I looked into atheism. If atheism is true, we're just sacks of meat." Like he just did not understand anything. I don't know if you saw that comment.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I saw that comment, and I've gotten a lot of Matt Powell comments that when I was watching Utah Podcast Outcast video today, like the comment he was talking that Matt Powell sent him, I've gotten a lot of those comments from Matt Powell, a lot. And it does show you. And it's like when I was talking about how I could have released the emails that Matt had sent me, excuse me. And I decided not to do it because it really shows Matt in a bad way, and he doesn't even see it. Like to him, that's just being Matt, and to him, he's a great person, so he can't see how normal people would take a reprehensible words like that. Like he just doesn't understand it. To him, he's being good, like he's doing what he should be doing. I don't know. It's when you think about, if it's just me, like if it's just me. Man, I could take that and not look back, but like I said, it's two of those messages spoke about my daughter. And not only that, but a lot of commenters. I don't know if you guys have been noticing in my comments lately, I'm getting a lot of comments about how just me being me is somehow dangerous to my daughter and she needs to be saved from me.
Well,
it's really bad. It's getting really bad.
Yeah, and that's basically the comment I was talking about, because the guy is like, "Oh, I've looked into atheism, and it's such a dangerous thing because if we're just chemicals," I'm like, dude, you are just, because I responded to him. I don't know if you saw my respond to it.
I think I did. Yeah.
Like,
go ahead. Tell everybody else.
Well, okay. Let me actually pull it up because I don't remember off the top of my head. Let me see. Okay, hold on. I need to go up because I sent it to a friend of mine. Okay, here's the. Okay, I was very disappointed. This is from Matty John 14:6. I was very disappointed you were chosen to represent atheists in the documentary video Science Falsely So-Called. Not because you failed in every conceivable way to defend atheism, all atheists always do, but because you are very ignorant of your own religion and quite foolish and generally poor at thinking logically or arguing. Basically, I felt you were weak opposition, like taking candy from a baby.
Yeah,
I had to stop and just laugh at this, but going on.
I remember that comment, and it was like, it rang true to me of some of the criticisms that I've seen from I think Utah Podcast called it the scathing atheist community or whatever, but like god awful movies. I haven't quite watched all of their thing on the movie, but it was like, holy crap, man, like you guys believe Matt.
Yeah, let me get through this because it gets good.
All right, go for it. I'm gonna send Frustrated Atheist a link.
Okay. I was an atheist I was an atheist that actually took the time to understand atheism and all it really means. I understood that if atheism was true, then I was a free will-less biological sack which has no intrinsic value, living in a world that has no meaning, with no intrinsic value to human life, no basis for morality, no basis for ethics, and led ultimately to hedonism, nihilism, and narcissism. A lot of buzzwords there. More than this, I could not trust my own thoughts, as they were merely illusions created by chemical reactions in my head, which I had no control over. And there could be no objective truths and no possible way I could thus share any part of reality with any other being, meaning you must all be in my head, which I could not control or trust. This is, of course, absolute, complete, and ultimate insanity, which is what atheism really is. Uh, Thankfully, I became sane and I am now a Christian with an evidential, coherent, and satisfying worldview. Ah, the Bible truly is the Word of God. And then, hang on. The Bible truly is the Word of God. The Psalm 14, I guess 14:14. The fool has said in his heart, "There is no God." They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that does good. The Lord looked down. The Lord looked down upon. Sorry. The Lord looked down from heaven upon the children of men to see if there were any that didn't understand and seek God. Excuse me again. They are all gone aside. They are all gone aside. They are altogether become filthy. There is none that doeth good. No, not one. Have all the workers of iniquity no knowledge to basically he starts spouting off you know that Psalm 14:14, and then he gives a couple verses for that. Like, yeah, screw you. And let me read to you let me read my response. Where is it? Here we go. Here we go. What a sad and pathetic comment to leave. Such ignorance and hatred for a group of people you claim to understand, yet got so many things so fucking wrong. It saddens me to think that rather than valuing human life as religion claims, at least Christianity, it cheapens it as just another object that was supposedly created by a supreme being who demands your blind obedience to it. From what little I know about astronomy, physics, biology, chemistry, neurology, and other fields, I have to say that I value life more than if I were a Christian. Christians fail to realize that if this creator God existed, what makes them think that we would be its perfect creation when we die like every other living thing in the world? You are so fucking blind to the world around you that you don't even understand the very machine you are using to type that just ignorant comment. Your view is just so flawed, it's unbelievable. You lack an understanding of everything, especially atheism, nihilism, and morality. God, I really hope I never become as ignorant as you, or as you fucking hell. Mic drop. Sorry, I had to add a little mic drop at the end.
I get so many of those comments, and like the thing I just want to scream is like I just want to bring them into my life for a day, so they could see me and my daughter interact with each other. If they understood that we share the same name, I gave my daughter my name, because she was the only child I was going to have. I went through a really hard time with her mother in order to get custody. It took us years, and we finally got into a place that we can actually be roommates now. And she's right here right now helping me with our daughter. And if they could only understand just how loving this little girl is, and how she just loves everything. But you can't make them see that because they only see the damage that I'm doing to her. But I do want to introduce, well, in their opinion, being an atheist.
Yeah, I know. It was like.
But I do want to introduce Wujita. I know people are saying, who's the guy with the beautiful fro? Wujita just got in, and he stole the show last weekend. And then Frustrated Atheist is here as well. So say hi. What's Frustrated?
What's going on, everybody?
What's up, man?
Oh, not much, just leaving Galveston Island to go home to drop something off to my wife before going to take care of horses.
Well, I'm glad you're here, Frustrated. I haven't had a chance. Me and Frustrated at one point are going to talk about a podcast that we're planning on doing, and then a bunch of craziness and scheduling conflicts. So I'm glad Frustrated's here. What's up, Wujita? Can you speak?
Yeah.
Wujita is my young prodigy. You do have a bit of a mic thing going on there. Wujita stole the show last Saturday. He's a chill cat.
What's happening? Is it background noise? What is it? Oh, hold on. I know what to do.
You're a little loud, and I don't understand how to work all this stuff yet.
I see Dr. Josh is here from.
Yeah, Dr. Josh is here.
Dr. Josh?
Hey. Sorry, I was sitting muted because I've got the dishwasher running beside me.
Yeah, I noticed that you were in here, and I was like, oh, look, there's Dr. Josh.
Yes, I'm very blessed to Dr. Josh reached. Was you?
Is that better?
No, that's a lot worse. All right, that's better. All right, so I was very blessed. Dr. Josh saw my debate with Praise That I Am and reached out to me, and we've kind of been talking a little bit, and I've been on like, despite everything that else that has happened, you know, I've been on cloud nine, man. I've got Dr. Josh talking to me and Brett Keane. Last month I was putting out really, really disrespectful manatee videos, and me and Brett Keane are being able to talk to each other now. I mean, I'm riding high.
Yeah, well, I mean, I do have to give Brett Keane kind of points for him trying to be like, dude, man, this is what it says. You have to admit, like, you know what I mean? That 7-hour thing. I mean, yeah, he's a snake, obviously, but you know what, Von, I've seen some videos of Von Helton. And despite everything he said over the years and what I know, I was like, wow, goddamn, Von Helton.
I was afraid when I saw Brett bring him in because I have seen a couple of things he said, and I'm like, me and this guy would go back and forth. I mean, I was more afraid of him than G-Man, but he did pretty good. You know?
Yeah.
Von Helton's just
What was that, Frustrated?
I said Von Helton's a loon.
Yeah, he says some out there things, man. I'm like, the first time I went on Brett Keane, he said something, and I'm like, dude, no, that's not right. Where are you getting that? Like, where do you get this stuff from? But yeah, what up?
Well, no. I just wanted to do some free advertising in a half hour. The That's Talking to the Show is gonna have Lawrence Krauss on there.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah,
I'm actually really excited about that episode.
I know, right?
That's gonna be awesome.
I'm so jealous of Steve.
Yeah,
Is that
better? You're still really loud, Wujita.
Wujita, never shave that afro. Okay, when you do, I will block you. The day that you do.
Is that better?
A little bit, I think so.
How about now?
That should be. That's pretty good. Yeah, you gotta love YouTube and microphones.
Yeah, but I have to say that having Dr. Josh around to be able to help with the understanding of the Bible is absolutely amazing.
Well, and not only that, but just to help me, you know, like for years, it was just me doing research and man, I really hope I'm right about this. I'm going to put this out and like, man, maybe now I can go to Dr. Josh and Dr. Josh has said something on it. Well, either I'm right or I'm wrong, and I can adjust accordingly. And that's what I like. And not just Dr. Josh, but the whole channel, like the historical, how you're educating people, I think is brilliant.
I think that's really sweet of you guys to say. And you know, I think for us, our goal in all of this is, I don't know, trying to be that conduit. Because look, I mean, you know, my expertise is very limited, but you know, I know
always
a lot of people. I know a lot of people, and I know a lot of people in the scholarly world, and so like we're getting ready to put out the formation of the Pentateuch, video. I'm about 3/4 of the way through editing it now. Man, that's such a long process. But that's going to talk about the documentary hypothesis and the other ways that Mosaic authorship is sort of corrected. But that sort of thing, I ran that by Dr. William Reed. Before I did the actual recording, because it's just nice to have people that can peer review your work. And so no, we're very excited to be here, to be on YouTube and to be available to you guys. If anybody ever does have any questions or things you want us to kind of run down for you, please let us know.
Dr. Josh.
Because, go ahead, Lisa.
Why just the Pentateuch? The Genesis through 2 Kings, that all was edited. So why just the Pentateuch?
Yeah, I mean, I say Pentateuch just because it's more of a, saying Hexateuch or something like that, to try to get at some of the other theories is,
Gotcha.
it's not as common. That's why. But yeah, and I don't want anybody to think that I wanted the video to be detailed enough, kind of meaty enough that it would, it's 36 minutes, which is pretty long for me just reading a script. But, I don't go into, things ad nauseum. But one of the things that I really wanted to do was point out or hear all the contradictions in the biblical text, and hear the doublets that you see, for example, in the flood story or in the creation accounts in early Genesis. And does Mosaic authorship, single Mosaic authorship, account for that? I don't think so. But here's some, here are the basic theories, and it's nothing new, nothing that you can't get on Dr. Hayes, Christina Hayes' channel and hear her lecture about it. But it's we want all that stuff to be in one place for everybody to access. So
yeah, I know. I'm grateful for that, because I need resources that I can trust. I often go at people about slavery, and I often wondered what the original text said about it. And then I was able to watch you and Skylar Fiction just totally handle Praise That I Am. And then, like I said, also, like, just the way that you went about that conversation and trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. And, guy, you could be right, but here, let me tell you what it really says. Man, I learned, like, all right, yeah, I've been arguing this point, but now I know. Now I got some serious ammunition for this argument here.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say that one of the things that I've recently I talked to someone on Twitter today where they were talking about prophecy that had been fulfilled within the Bible. And I asked them to name, which prophecies, you got to be more specific. And the thing that they brought up about the whole entire resurrection of Christ being prophesied in like Isaiah or wherever it was. And because Dr. Josh has actually covered that before, he said that, that the entire prophecy is necessarily speaking about a singular individual, but rather the Israel or something like that. And I was like, no, that's not at all what the prophecy from Isaiah was. And it's just amazing to listen to Dr. Josh explain it all out.
That's very generous. It's funny because so many of these things that we talk about, like, I remember when I made that prophecy, that video about the prophecy about Tyre from Ezekiel 26. And I remember making that video, and I talked to, actually I was at a conference out in Denver when I was making it, and I was sitting around talking to, some guys that I went to Hopkins with. And I said, it's weird because I'm making this video and I'm arguing that the prophecy against Tyre didn't come to pass. And they looked at me, now these are evangelical Christians, and they looked at me and they said, is that debated? And I said, well, apparently, And it's just so, it's funny to me because I think my position has always been and probably will be, I don't know, I'm sure everybody knows, but you know, like my wife is a Christian, and I have no problem with people being a certain kind of Christian, right? The kind that doesn't hate, and the kind that doesn't beat you over the head with it and ask you which way do you believe, and oh no, that's not the right way. And but it's so interesting because, you know, the people that I interact with and the guys that I was sitting there at the conference, you know, these are strong evangelical Christians that, you know, believe that Jesus died for their sins, and I'm perfectly fine with that. But the thing is that they don't need the Ezekiel prophecy, right? They don't need Isaiah 7 to. It's just strange, the things that people will go to the wall for that I don't think they actually need to go to the wall for. They have to step away from fundamentalist Christianity, I think. So.
No, you see, I'm what's considered if you go into the philosophical terms, an atheist, or if you go to more colloquial terms, a hard atheist, where I go a step further and claim that there are no gods. And my wife is a non-denominational Christian, and I tell people all the time, and it sometimes tends to be an opinion among atheists, but I tell people that I'm perfectly fine accepting that your justification for a belief in God is a personal experience. I'm fine with that. I'm absolutely okay. You can sit, if I sit there and says, why do you believe in God? And you tell me, because I've had a personal experience with him. I'm fine with that. The only issue I have, though, is when people use these personal experience claims or personal experience to make claims about reality for everyone. And to me, I'm not going to sit there and dog you for your personal experience. But if you're going to use that to say, oh, this is then can be applicable to all of reality for everyone, then I have a problem.
I know that, and then I promise I'll stop talking. But you know, one of the things that happened recently is S.J. Thomason was on Twitter, and which I think is something that she does with some regularity, and Megan got kind of frustrated with her.
Yeah.
And I said, what's the matter? And she said, well, she made a comment, and I'm going to say this. I'm sure that SJ is a very nice woman. She seems very pleasant, and I'm sure that she means very, very well, and I'm sure that she is. Again, I think that she's genuine, but that's what I think that makes it somehow worse for me, because what she said to Megan was, I found out, I'm paraphrasing here, but I understand that you're a Christian. I'm sure that you're working on your hubby, smiley face.
Yes, I was in that conversation thread.
You were.
The very second I saw that, it pissed me off too.
It's just such a presumptuous way to go through life, and I completely understand it because I did it for 26 years, right? I mean, like, I pastored a church for 7 years. You know, I was that goofball out on the corner, you know, preaching the gospel to people and going in the jails and preaching the gospel. And I was very well intentioned, and I was very sincere in what I believed. And I was a nice person then too, but I was a dick. I mean, I don't know the other way to say it.
Oh no, trust me, I understand, because as most people know, I'm from Texas, and I belonged to a New Testament Baptist church whenever I was younger, and I was very, very devout, and I was also the type of person that would at first go and actually do the same type of things, be kind of preachy at other people, and I would sit there and try to spread the love of Jesus, and, you know, try to get all these people who I thought were sinners, that were irrevocably going to hell to try to steer away from their sins so that way they can become, God-fearing people like I was. So I totally get that aspect. But it's still just, when people say certain phrases like that, like, I know you're probably working on your husband. It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, I agree. And to what Dr. Josh is saying, like, if I would have met Matt the 2 times that I did, and he would have just been a freaking douchebag in real life, then I could understand it so much easier. But you meet him and he's so nice, and he's like, man, this kid was raised right. Like, what? That makes it worse. It makes it so much worse to me. Like, I would just much rather him be Matt Powell and not somebody that you could like until he says, the F word, or some of the horrible things he said. Like, you can really like Matt Powell because he was raised right, but then he was raised completely wrong. And it's like, what happened to this kid? Like it bothers me more than anything.
I think that, and then I should probably duck out because I gotta get some sleep.
And I did send a link to Random. You can come in, but we do have to cut this off in like 15 minutes.
But I will say that just sort of maybe tying this back to the absolute horrific thing that's been done here, and again, I'm really sorry about it. It's just horrible. People making death threats is just crazy, but it fits, right? It fits the narrative. It fits when you come down in a place and you have the mentality that I have this book, I have this ancient text, and it was handed down by God, and holy men of old were inspired. It was God breathed, and to the letter, to the marks, on the Hebrew letters, the very marks, they're all inspired by God, and we have it here in this King James Bible. When you have that position and you have this thing that you can then build your entire structure, this foundation upon which you can build your entire structure, then everything makes sense. It answers all questions. It answers all challenges in your mind. But at the end of the day, you then have to say, well, God, if this is true, well, then when I flip open to this thing and it says homosexuality is an abomination to the Lord, and these people should be treated in such and such a way, I might really like homosexual people, but my book says, and that's where I feel like,
or I might love my son, but my God tells me to hate my son.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's such a scary place when you have to, proverbially check your brain at the door. And I think this is if I ever wonder about, am I too tired or something to go on Skylar's channel tonight? I always think, you know what, it's really important to do it. Because I feel like, your show, Skylar's show, so many of us here on YouTube, the goal, I think, is to get people to a place where they can say, gosh, maybe I should question these long-held beliefs in such a way that I can hold a more reasonable Christian position.
Yeah.
So, I always say that. Like, I'm not trying to convert people to atheism. Just love, man. Stop the hate. And me and that Christian vlogger are gonna have a really good conversation. And me and Ocean started talking about having a really good conversation, kind of around the same thing. The one with Ocean would be, rhetoric and rhetoric in the atheist community, stuff like that. Really good conversation. But with that Christian vlogger, it's like, how can we coexist? All right, you're a good, like, I truly think he's a good guy, but he's fundamental with his belief, but doesn't hate people. How can these two sides, because I would represent myself as a more extreme, voice. So how can we coexist with each other? And that's going to be a great conversation. I can't wait for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I truly, whenever I was a Christian, way back in the day, with us, we weren't exactly big about the whole entire, about the whole entire what Matt Powell believes should happen to homosexuals. We were taught about how we had this fear of hell instilled upon us. Like we couldn't. I remember vividly as a child having a nightmare where I'm going up to the pearly gates of heaven, and my mom's there, apparently waiting for me for some odd or strange reason because this is a dream, and watching my mother plummet to hell. And it was something that was definitely instilled upon us to have a fear of hell. Hell is a real place that is going to cause severe and utter agony upon you. And that our friends and family that are homosexuals, that we must love them, but ultimately know that they're going to hell, in a kind of a subliminal way of saying, hey, preach the word of God to your homosexual friends and family to make sure that they don't go to hell. So that way they're all good. And that to me was extremely damaging, because I'm over here. It got to the point where I actually did have a bit of homophobia, because my sister had a friend who was gay, and whenever I once rode with him because I don't remember where we're going, but I was afraid to even sit next to him because
that's pretty sad.
Yeah, because I had this whole entire fear of, the quote unquote gay agenda of, he's either going to somehow if I touch him, somehow automatically getting AIDS, or somehow becoming gay because of him.
I don't mean to laugh at what you're saying, but just looking back on it, it has to be funny to you, right?
Yeah. Well,
and looking back, it's just funny that society actually thought that. I
still do.
I can remember, that being the narrative. Like, don't kiss that person with AIDS because you might get AIDS, or don't touch them. I mean, we were so afraid of it. And we didn't even know anything about it, and I remember it clearly,
Yeah, and I'm not going to say that to me, even looking back at it, to me, it's not funny. It's just sad.
Yeah.
It's sad to see that I was in such a mindset.
Yeah, and to your point, like, things can really mess with you. Like I said, I'm not a racist person. Haven't been since I left the South. Haven't been since I tore that rebel flag off my wall and realized people were people. And yet, a few death threats from ISUPK, and a black person walks through the doors of my restaurant, and I'm looking over my shoulder, immediately afraid for no reason at all. Like, people things like, it will mess with you and make you do things that you just would never do. You would never I would never profile somebody based on their appearance, but because ISUPK are black individuals that have threatened me, now every black person, oh my gosh, I got to be wary, and I had to get out of that place, man.
So I just want to lighten the mood, so I just drew a nice little picture of Brett Keane for everybody.
You drew that?
Yeah, I just did that. Weren't you paying attention?
Wow, man. Wow, that's awesome.
Come on, why are you gonna be so mean to the Keane? Mean to the Keane, okay.
Yeah, Wujita gave Brett quite a lot of props in our talk.
Yeah, I'll give him props for him being peaceful, but he's still garbage.
Yeah, I know. I that's why I told you not to whenever you were saying, "Oh yeah, you can come in." I'm like, no. Coming in when Brett Keane's there was not a great idea, because
and especially if I'm asking you to be nice.
Yeah. To me, I'm sorry, he's just so incredibly stupid.
It was hard. Like, my first time I went on Brett Keane's channel, he had made a couple comments about my daughter. And I was really mad. Like, I did a live stream before I went on, and I'm literally said, like, I've got to do something to calm myself down before I go on this guy's show. And I did, and I was able to be calm. It was hard. And I'm glad I did, because then it might have been a different conversation. And I don't even know how I see Brett Keane anymore. You know, like, it's just changing.
Yeah, I personally can't. I've seen some of his videos, and well, I haven't even actually watched through them all, the ones that I have seen. And one of the ones that I'm very familiar with is the one that on Raw had took up his challenge, where he spends the first probably few minutes talking about his book that's on Amazon. And pretty much, and I have no problem with self-plugging yourself. That's perfectly fine for me. But I didn't see the validity behind having this self-plug to tie into the question you had for Arn Ra. And whenever he finally got to his point, it was a completely and utterly stupid point. And every time I hear these questions that he has for people, I'm like, these are such stupid questions that you don't even have to be an atheist to fucking answer.
And my thing that I'm wondering about Brett right now is maybe he's having a little bit of remorse. I don't know the whole Brett Keane history. Maybe he's having a little bit of remorse about how he's treated atheists in the past. And now I think he might be trying to play both sides. And like, you know, with Matt Powell, for instance, I go on his channel, I debunk Matt Powell. Brett Keane was like, oh my God, I can't believe he hates gay people. I'm like, check out my work. And then he talks to Matt about it. And Matt tells him how he hates gay people. And yet he still is kind of like in a love fest with Matt Powell. And I'm like, you were just, like, couldn't believe that he did. He sits here and admits it to you. And then you justify what he admitted to you. So yeah, there's still some big issues with Brett. The thing that I appreciate, and we really do have to end this because I got to get ready for work. But the thing I really appreciate about people, I don't want you to believe what I believe. Just come with honest arguments and an honest discussion. You know, my problem with Praise That I Am is I don't think it's honest. Standing for truth, I didn't think it was honest. I want an honest conversation with people.
Well, even with what you just said, Brett Keane just showed how dishonest he is. Because I heard him say how if Matt Powell really believes this, we're going to have a serious talking to.
Yeah, and then he goes and kisses his ass.
Exactly. So this is a textbook definition of being dishonest. Mm-hmm. He is telling you one thing and then acting in a different way.
Yep, I agree wholeheartedly. I think and I think Brett needs to look at that. You're not going to be able to play both sides in a public forum. You know, you just can't. You need to be consistent, but I do appreciate that he's trying to be fair, and at least, you know, I don't think he's treated me like he's treated some in the past, and, you know, until he disrespects me, he won't get the Raging Atheist. But I do got to cut this off, guys. I really appreciate you all coming. It's 9 o'clock, and I have to take a shower and get ready for work. Really grateful, Dr. Josh, and frustrated. It's been a while since I had you on. I love talking to you. So we need to have that conversation. Let's try to work it out this week. And I know you're busy with your wife and I'm busy with work.
Go watch Non Sequitur.
Yes, I am going to be watching Non Sequitur. And B, yes, I actually am off this weekend so far until the schedule changes. So even if I'm not, I can still get on.
Yeah, sweet. By the way, I apologize for that.
Oh no! Watch Non Sequitur. I would watch it live if I could, but I'll be watching it probably tomorrow.
If he's gonna chill, I'm gonna chill. Watch me stream doing artist shit. Enjoy this beautiful image of Brett Keane, the stallion situation.
Vegeta,
himself.
I love your drawing, but miss your hair.
Oh, yeah. I'll let you see it one more time.
Yeah. The best afro I've ever seen.
And I'm still failing at technology. Hold on. Nope. Nope. Oh, fuck.
YouTube. Gotta love it. There
we go.
There's my boy. You guys, Wajima is an up-and-comer, man. Give him some love. I enjoy your just smooth style. Man, I haven't seen you got ruffled yet.
It's because I have no idea. I don't know how I do this. It hurts.
But thank you guys. Thanks, Dr. Josh. Thanks, Frustrated.
Thank you.
No
Really,
problem.
really grateful, Dr. Josh, for your kind words and coming on here, man. And are you going live on Skylar tonight?
Oh no, he's
Not tonight. All right.
no, he's got some stuff going on. So now I'm going to bed.
All right. Awesome. Well, everybody check out Non Sequitur. That is going to be a great show. All right. I'll see you guys later.
I'd see you later.
See you.
All right. See you later.